there can only be one place to start this week's vlog, this match vlog, and that's right in front of Vinny's statue here in front of the East Stand. An absolute legend of Manchester City, and of course somebody that not only is a hero to Blues fans like me, but I got to work with him on a book, this book. So as much as I'm glad that he's back today, and I suppose City fans want him to win today, or do they? Will he end up here in the future? Let's find out what people are thinking today ahead of this game in the FA Cup quarter-final. Place at Wembley at stake for the winners against Burnley. So here we are near the Vincent Kompany statue, Steve. How does he compare to, you've seen so many players wear the sky blue of City. How does he compare, Vincent Kompany?
Well, obviously there's been a lot of great players, but the big thing that made Vincent stand out and why he'll get a great reception today is because he was a great leader. He set a great example and people just followed him, and it's no surprise that he's now making a very good manager, and I think he's got a very good future ahead of him.
Can you see him at this club again in the future? Pep seems to think he'll end up here one day.
Well, he'll certainly be a big candidate, but of course a lot can happen in life in between that. But at the moment you would say yes.
And how does modern football compare for you? I mean, you were the understudy to the great Bert Troutman. I know you played in the City first team as well. When you look at a modern goalkeeper like Ederson, what do you think?
Well, I think nowadays football, the facilities, the pitches, all the things that they have to help them. The ball is a big deterrent for goalkeepers nowadays, because in my day, if somebody shot a ball, it never deviated because it was like a cannonball. But nowadays, with the plastic surface and the lightness of the ball, they swerve and dip, and that's why you don't see goalkeepers catching the ball too much these days, because they have to push it away because they know if they catch it, it will slip out their hands.
Is Bert still the greatest ever?
Well, he was certainly the greatest at the time. I'm a big, I think, De Gea at United is a very good goalkeeper, and I think Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the world, with our fella not far behind. Our fella's the best distributor of the ball, but Alisson is number one in Brazil.
How does it feel then as a Burnley fan to be stood watching your manager in a statue who's about to manage your team against City when he's a legend of City?
I think someone needs to put a Burnley scarf around the statue, to be honest. But it's pretty weird, to be honest, yeah.
A lot of City fans see him as one of the greatest legends of the club. Do you think he'll stay around long enough at Burnley to become a legend at your club?
I think so, yeah. I think, well, I think we'll have him next season at least, and then I can see him going right to the top. So it's just how far he drags us with him.
Pep's already said that he might end up back at City. Is that something that would bother you if he came back to City?
I mean, I think it's going to happen inevitably at some point, but hopefully he'll stay with us a bit longer first.
It's been Mr. Man City himself. He's from here from the start, helped build us as a status, as a club, and look where he left us.
Does it feel strange that he's going to be on the touchline, you know, managing the opposition today?
It does feel strange, but hopefully he might be back in the dugout one day for us.
Who's going to win though today?
City easily.
Even though it's Vincent Kompany?
Even though it's Vinny, he should be easy enough.
I think he means he's a legend, you know, epitome of what City have been over the last 12, 13 years. I just think, you know, winner, that's all I say for Vincent Kompany. I just think a winner, passionate, delivers on the field, has done, you know, for many years, and nice to see him back, to be honest with you. But hopefully on the losing side rather than the winning side, you know.
His wife Carla was a City fan.
Yes.
Is a City fan.
Yeah.
I wonder how it feels for her today, watching her husband try and stop City.
I think from what I've read on social media, it's going to be interesting. The house is probably going to be divided because obviously Vincent will want to beat us, and his family might have other ideas. So.
And do you think that Vincent Kompany, as Pepper suggested, might at some point be in the manager's hot seat at City?
I think every City fan would like to believe that. I hope so, but it's one of those where obviously you've got Pep Guardiola, who's probably the best manager in the world ever, arguably. But it's nice to think that Pep recognises him as a good manager, obviously. and that hopefully one day, obviously you've seen what he's done with Burnley in the Championship this season, that hopefully, if he obviously will get more than likely get promoted with Burnley, that he could hopefully one day be doing the same thing with City, or what he recreated with the Centurions, but instead of being playing in that team, managing that team hopefully.
As a younger fan,
Yeah.
how highly do you have Kompany in your esteem, as it were?
I think it's one of those where when you go up watching City, he's always in the back four, so you always, if you've got Kompany in the back four, you think we've got a chance of winning. So obviously since he left, you know, that the season after he left, there's a bit of doubt in the back four. So I think obviously with Ruben Diaz coming in now, he's kind of like a bit of a mini Ruben, a bit of a mini Vinny, isn't he? But I think Vincent just represents the City, innit? You know, it's one of those where you see Vinny in the starting lineup, you think you've got the back four sorted. You know, he's got that leadership. You know, sometimes if maybe when you had like Kolarov playing left back, you'd always be a bit wary of Kolarov because they're going forward. But if you had Vinny there, he's always got a voice there saying, you know, being a bit solid at the back if Kolarov's going missing. So you feel like with Vinny, you had a decent chance of conceding few. Let's put it that way.
Just about edge it, I think. Our team's got a better squad, but obviously Vinny knows our infrastructure, so he knows how we work inside out. That's the only danger. And they've only lost 2 games all season, but hopefully get a good strong team out to do the business.
I know you've obviously got a particular moment today when your son's going to go out there, but any mixed feelings? Because Vinny's going to be on the touchline.
Well, yeah, it's legendary, isn't he? Obviously, I love Vinny, but once the handshakes and the cheering's done and the ball kicks off, it's got business.
The FA Cup final, 1969. A City heading for another FA Cup trip to Wembley this season.
He'll have great memories coming back, obviously, but it is. I think it's going to be a fantastic FA Cup tie. 2 teams that are full of confidence. Burnley doing tremendously well in the Championship, and obviously City with the Champions League result, I think looking to go very strong right to the end of the season. So it's a classic FA Cup tie.
Do you think Vinny will be in any way anxious about coming here because it's City where he's a legend, or is it all focus?
I'd just be focused on his team, what he knows they can do, and if they can produce a performance, then unfortunately he'd probably love it nothing more than winning here against City with his Burnley team.
Do you think they could produce an upset today?
I think it's going to be a fantastic FA Cup tie. I see it being very close.
So Vinny back today. Tell me about Vinny.
I can remember when Radio Lancashire phoned me up when he got the Burnley job, and they said, what kind of a chap is he and how do you think he'll do? And I said he's a born leader, great leader of men, very well respected, loved throughout football, absolute legend at Manchester City. So they've made a very astute and good signing, Burnley, and as it's proved to be.
What's it like being here again then?
No, it's always great, you know, especially this time we are winning like this. It's always a great feeling.
What about Vincent Kompany? He's obviously a player's been a legend like you.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him, you know, he's doing so well, and hopefully he will be successful.
Is City will win today?
Of course, City will win. Against Burnley, I think it's a 3-0 win.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I thought they kept the ball well, dominated possession, and it just needed that first opportunity. He had the header earlier, which he didn't quite get right, but as you know, he just keeps on going. Great ball, straight run, just got there before the keeper, nice controlled toe-peck finish, and then the second one was put on a plate from Phil Foden, got in, wrong side of Robertson. It's been a good ding-dong down that left-hand side, right-hand side for Burnley. But Foden got the better of Roberts, and it's a really good pass just outside the 6-yard box. The keeper can't get involved. and it's a clever finish. The keeper's coming out to try and smother it, just lifts it over the keeper. But in general, listen, Manchester City, not complacent, 7 changes. The players that have come in look fit, look sharp, look ready to play any role that they can for this side, and excellent 45 minutes.
In the nicest possible way, is he a freak of nature, Haaland?
He is, yeah. I mean, listen, he's rapid, his hold-up play is good, his link-up play is good, he's good in the air. But the most impressive thing is how he comes alive when the ball's in that 18-yard box. He just sniffs out, it's a sixth sense, he sniffs out where the chances are, he's got great intensity, and then when he gets in the position, he's very clinical. So, yeah, a bit of a freak of nature, but fortunately he's playing for Manchester City, so he's going to score an absolute bundle full of goals.
That was brilliant. Especially from Haaland, the hat-trick, 6-1. He's never going to stop scoring, He's gonna get his sickest, I tell you.
It's a bit of a freak of nature, really, isn't it?
He is, mate, he is.
I told you on Wednesday we battered them, and we battered them today. Cheers,
Happy with that?
Very happy with that.
You don't
Great
feel any
performance.
sympathy for Vincent?
Oh, I love Vincent, mate. I think Kompany will one day be another manager of ours. One day, but he's got a long way to go yet. Hopefully he will be, but thanks a lot, Cheesy.
It's pretty good. It's nice to get a different spread of players. I like when a couple of them get a goal. It's nice to see Alvarez getting one, Kev again. It's just fantastic. But yeah, Haaland hat-trick, you can't write it. It's brilliant.
I presume you come to every game now expecting a Haaland hat-trick, do you?
You do, but it's still special, isn't it? It's still special. They're always different. He's always in a different area. He takes it from outside the box, inside the box, headers. He's fantastic.
Do you think you'll see anything like this again? Because we seem to be just on a permanent crest of a wave, don't we, City?
What, another Haaland or?
Another Haaland, another season like this. I mean, it just goes on and on.
People thought they'd never see another Aguero, but I think we've seen, stats-wise, we've seen that and a bit more. So I think bigger and better, yeah. Times have come bigger and better, hopefully.
Well, I didn't expect that. I honestly didn't. I thought it'd be a hard game. Honestly, I thought it'd be a hard game, but I think Vincent Kompany's had a lesson today, hasn't he? The master and the apprentice, well, he's had a massive lesson today. We played really well, actually, and I thought Burnley didn't actually part the bus or anything like that. He actually came and had a go at us, and that's what happens. What you do, you end up losing 6-0 or 7-0, don't you?
Haaland's a freak, isn't he?
It's an absolute machine. There's a film on telly called The Terminator, and that's what I think he is. He just annihilates teams.
Haaland was amazing, as always. He scores so many hat-tricks, it's just ridiculous at this point, isn't it?
You must come to games like I do thinking, he'll get a hat-trick again today.
Yeah, it's you come and kind of expect him to score an hat-trick now, which is just crazy. 6-0 and a 7-0 as well. It feels like we're getting back into our form as well. We're starting to properly play nice football again. So, this is the competition I really believe we can win now. The league's still a worry, and the Champions League we're playing, it's hard to see us, winning that easily. So, but this is a really important competition for us this year, I believe.
He's done 2 hours work this week and scored 8 goals.
Crazy. Well, he get one against Palace as well. What can you do? You can't stop him, can you? It's unreal.
You famously painted a picture of, a few I suppose, of Vinny Kompany, and he's such a legend. When are you going to do one of Haaland?
Haaland, I've already done one actually. I've done it about 2 or 3, and the next time I see it, I will show you. But I have done him already. I might even do one of you next, Ian. You're on my list.
He's a freak of nature, isn't he?
It is. It's phenomenal what he's doing. You're looking at his scoring rate, and you just think, when's he going to stop? Because you can have a dormant game. You think nothing's happening, and in the space of a couple of minutes, the guy's got 2 or 3 goals, and it's just, I've never seen anything like it for a long time. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, scary. You think you've shut him out of the game, and before you know it, he's got 2 or 3 goals.
Another hat-trick from Erling Haaland. I think Trevor Sinclair summed it up at half-time. I suppose I put the words in his mouth when I said that Haaland was a freak of nature. And he certainly seems to be at the moment. Hat-trick after hat-trick. 8 goals in 2 hours of playing football in the first team for Manchester City in the last 2 games. And of course he scored at the previous game as well. He is just something else. 2-week international break now. The audio podcast that I do will continue, and of course there won't be another video, although I might stick a bit of video up in the meantime just to fill the gap, but there won't be any more match day vlogs now until the visit of Liverpool on April the 1st. So enjoy a good couple of weeks break before it really gets intense with an FA Cup semi-final, Bayern 2 legs in the Champions League, Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home. It's all to come in April. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for your support. Thanks very much to RRG Group, to Eamar Development UK and to Timpson. But there's no other way of saying it, is there? Isn't it great to be a Blue?